Brian Eldridge with Phantom Airborne Brigade. I'm the senior jump master and one of the people who purchased it from the previous group owners and everything. Back in 2018, me and Chris Stevens purchased it from Chuck Gilbert and have built it up into something we didn't really see coming at the time. We started out with approximately a dozen members, and now we're over 500 members. Chuck had a different approach to the Phantom, and he wanted to keep it small, and that's what it was. And we did our monthly jumps at Skydive City and everything, and Chuck had more of a smaller, tighter group picture. Once I took it over, or once me and Chris took it over, we had a bigger picture, wanting to increase the platforms, the operation of it and everything, and we have grown it up to a much larger thing. You know, nothing against Chuck. He had his vision and did a great job at it. You know, a beautiful safety record and everything. Chuck is super knowledgeable. You couldn't ask for, you know, to pick up something from a more knowledgeable person, and to be able to be handed something and to run with it. And that's what we did. We picked up a ball that was, you know, in such state, and we just picked it up and ran with it. The biggest thing that really launched Phantom was when I decided to move it from a smaller lake that really didn't give much of a platform for visibility, and we moved it up to Lake County, Lake Dora. So it was started out as, let's do it up there. There's a bar there. We can have some beers afterwards and tell war stories. So we had 42 chutes, I believe, at the time. We sold 42 chutes out the very same day we announced this and everything. And then it basically, you know, almost went viral after that. We're now jumping 142 chutes. We just acquired some more chutes, so the next water jump will be 200 paratroopers going into the lake. 2 veteran support groups have spun off that operation, so it's went from just veterans that jump out of planes, getting together and having fun, to supporting veterans and helping veterans. We jump paraplegics now. That'll be 4 in November coming up. We've done things that no other group has as far as round canopy veteran groups. And so we put the first paratrooper out under his paraplegic veteran under his own power. The others have done tandem jump skydiving, but this trooper went out under his own power. And the way we do that out of a C-47 platform is we sit them in the door, just like a Huey Blast or a Black Hawk, and help them out the door, control their exit, and it's working great. We have techniques we developed that no one else has developed that I know of, and it's just taken off. And the rewards is seeing the families with those paratroopers and everything. Just, you could, like one paratrooper said, he's like, I washed all my sins, I washed all my demons off in the lake, you know. And his wife was like in tears, I got a new husband. And I don't see that, but you know, that's sort of what's taking place. And other veterans as well. A lot of guys, you know, they say that, you know, hey, I'm part of something again, and they want to belong. And I guess we created that platform for them. So it seems to be working for a lot of troopers. We've had troopers that were literally on suicide watch, and now they're part of the command staff and, you know, helping out and working with us. And they said, I'm part of something. So I'm like, hey, whatever it takes, it works. Paratroopers, Rangers, Special Forces, sort of a small knit group and everything. And with everything that's gone on in the past 20 years, there are a lot of relationships out there. And a lot of them are reunited at these things. It's pretty interesting. It's a pretty cool thing to be a part of. Sure. Yeah, people come from all 50 states. I mean, from everywhere. They fly in, and it's a 3 to 4 day event now. It's not just something to fly in for the weekend and hey, see you later. People come and hang out, and reunions have been moved from Disney World to Lake Eustis area because of the jump, and so it's helped the economy there, and it's actually other units have been created from this. So they contract through us to put them out the door and everything. And we've developed our own procedures to a certain point. We base everything off the Army FMs and everything, and we add our techniques and test them, and it's working out really well. We have boats, one boat per jumper that goes out the door, and those boats are all volunteers. We couldn't do it without them, and so it's a lot of planning that goes into it, but the rewards it's pretty impressive. Well, we're all Army veterans as far as paratroopers, so that's all we ever jumped in the Army was round canopies. We're not skydivers, we're paratroopers. So we jumped the round canopies, static line deployed, parachutes, and we jump out of a C-47 to Tycho Bell, which is actually from World War II. She flew 3 missions on D-Day. So she's in her late 70s as far as age, and so there's a lot of history in the bird too. So it's a package. So leading up the planning and also the execution of the jumps, I was a jump master instructor in 7th Special Forces Group. So I have probably the deepest knowledge within our structure. So self-appointed or self-inflicted, however you want to look at it, sort of the senior guy over the bird operations and the jump masters and everything. So yeah, we get into the flight plan, we get into altitude, training of jump masters, and so on and so forth. So I'm responsible for putting all that together for the most part, making sure that we have a plan to execute, and I'm also part of the planning, given my history and all that, making sure that we have a complete and thorough plan so that the jumpers stay in the water as little as possible. So basically, they'll bob once, which is less than a second because of the flotation devices, and within 5 to 8 seconds, 99% of the time, a boat is on them right then, being recovered. And that's gone to a lot of our success and everything. I say, without our boaters, we couldn't do this. But as far as senior jump master and everything, I'm involved in just a lot of the planning because the jump master is responsible for making sure the JMPIs are done, their chutes are correct. I mean, there's not much of the operation that doesn't involve the jump master because that's what we do. We're jumping out of a plane. JMPI is jump master personal inspection. Basically, that's where I'm going to go up to you after a jumper has been put into his rig, and I'm going to do a personal inspection of him. I go from head to basically waist, front and back, checking numerous points on himself, his harness, his equipment, parachute, canopy, so on and so forth, to make sure that's rigged properly and correctly, and that's all safe. Currently, I've been on the plane during the entire time, hoping to change that here shortly. We're getting some more jump masters trained up and everything so that I can come off the bird and just enjoy the day a little bit. But yeah, when you make 7 lifts and the temperature is 90, 93 degrees, it will wear you out. So primary jump masters, if we're in the bird, we're coming across the lake, I'm responsible for making sure they jump. The plane is on the correct flight path for the drop zone and according to the winds. So when we go out, we have limited control over our parachutes. We have some control, but limited. So if we're way off course, we can't fly back to the drop zone like a skydiver can. We have to be pretty much on target because the wind's going to blow us to a certain degree. So I have to make sure the plane's flying the right direction, right altitude, right speed over the drop zone, and then I determine when to release to put the jumpers out the door so that they have the best chance of hitting the target. There's a leeway. It's not absolute, scientific critical, but there's not a huge margin. Our parachutes only have an 8-knot forward thrust. If the winds are 9 knots, that means you're going backwards. So if you're off a little bit and the winds are low, no problem. You're off a little bit and the winds are high, there's a problem. There's 3 hazards that we always brief during sustained airborne. It's basically a refresher type course and everything. You have trees. Naturally, you don't want to land in trees with the parachutes. We have high tension power lines. That's a hazard. And water is a hazard. When we do water jumps, which is our most popular event that we do, we're jumping into a hazard. So normally it's briefed as a hazard, avoid at all costs. Well, this time we're purposely jumping into it. People think, oh, it's fun and games and everything. The unfortunate aspect is if you still run with the wind and you hit the water wrong, you can basically gulp a big gallon of water in your mouth and you're in trouble. If the winds pick up all of a sudden, you get drugged face down, you can be in trouble. So it's critical that we get the troopers out as quickly as possible. It's been in the harness for a couple hours, you know, people are getting tired. The suspension lines, basically, you know, 36 kite strings around your legs and everything, you can get tangled up. So people start to panic. So it's good to avoid all those situations, you know, and the jump's over. So get them out of the water, get them back to shore, let them start having fun. We have been basically a very small staff. We've been blessed to get some new blood in and some new volunteers. It's really helping out on that. Jeff East is really doing a great job at fronting that. He's directing the fundraising campaign, I should say, and really doing great success work. Before that, it was pretty much non-existent. So it was very limited, but that's coming around nice now. So it's wherever we can get it, and no officer, nobody draws a penny out of the funds. It 100% goes back into the operation, and that's how we've been able to acquire so many parachutes and everything. And we're still looking for parachutes. Anybody can donate. And it's all greatly appreciated. It goes to the veterans. If somebody wanted to, you know, just donate to the unit and everything, they can go to our webpage, phantomairborne.org, and go onto our website there and donate the, you know, anything. I say this doesn't go to beer. This doesn't go to, you know, the fun part of it. This goes to equipment to support future operations and everything. So every penny adds up. These parachutes are basically $1,000 a rig, and they do have a lifespan. Unfortunately, they are becoming very difficult to get. So we've bought pieces, and we're having master riggers put them back together and everything, inspect them. They're safe, but we, instead of being able to buy whole complete assemblies, we're literally buying pieces here and there and having them repaired and so on and so forth. That's how scarce these things are getting. The Army used to sell them and everything, but now for some reason the federal government, who you can't sue, says, hey, there's too much liability. So they are shredding them. So basically what's out there is out there. And we're using every ounce of our political influence, what little bit we have, through old command channels, through politicians that are members of Phantom and everything, trying to help us get some more parachutes, because we sell out. If we, tomorrow we open up the reservations for the November 11th jump. There will be roughly 200 slots when it's all said and done, we hope, if all our parachutes are serviceable, some of the pieces we put together. That will sell out in 24 hours. Really? The demand has gone nuts for these water jumps. And what it is, you know, veterans saying, hey man, you gotta do this. Come be part of it. It's a great operation, and it's a blast, and you know, we get to spend some time together. And that's what it's about, spending time together. Anybody can volunteer to be part of Phantom, actually jump a plane. You must be an Army veteran first. Second, you have to be airborne qualified. Go on our website. You can send us your DD-314 showing us where you went to jump school and everything, that you graduated, and you can jump with us, water or land. We jump every month. We do 2 to 3 major water operations a year, but we jump every month. If you want to just volunteer, again, money, financial support's always great, but physical support, when you jump 200 parachutes into the water, that's actually 400 parachutes, because your reserves get wet. To hang up 400 parachutes and take them back down and then repack them, transport them, all that, there's a lot of physical labor that goes into this. You know, we're here for all veterans. You know, just tell your buddies about us. You know, if you know, those who can't afford, we do sponsor some troopers to fly in. If you can just get here, we'll sponsor you. You know, we can't sponsor everybody. We do, you know, that's where some of the funds go into. We give out JROTC scholarships, very limited. We're just starting that this year. There's a lot of things we do to give back and everything as part of our 501c. So, you know, the more people know about us, the more we can serve. To jump into one of the lake operations is right around $350. Become a member. You have to become a member. It's our bylaws. We can't avoid that and everything. That's something that was set decades ago. You have to, you know, so you have to be a member to jump with Phantom, Airborne Qualified, and Veterans. So join, and then it's first come, first serve, literally, and they go fast. Phantom Airborne is something that started as a fun time, and has become a personal attachment to helping veterans.